today we're having a seminar down at AMA Fight Club in Whippany, New Jersey for Dan Miller and his son. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Dan's son has PKD, and he has ongoing medical costs. So Mike Constantino, the owner at AMA Fight Club, and the family at AMA Fight Club came together, and Jim Miller and Mike asked me to kind of take the ball and raise money for Dan's son and his treatments. He has a donor, and they just need the money to keep that going. And everyone's come together in drones to help us. It's really wonderful.
So PKD is polycystic kidney disease. He has the autosomal form?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, which is a little bit rarer than the dominant form. 1 in 20,000 kids have it. Well, we want to just raise money, also want to raise awareness for PKD.
Yes.
And try to get the information out there, try to get people to support the cause. Is there a website that people can go to try to...
Yes, if you go on our Facebook page, is the Daniel James Miller Foundation. We're on Twitter at Daniel James Miller Foundation, and then we have a WordPress page. If you do Google, it's Daniel James Miller, and you can go right to the AMAFightClub.com is the best way, and all the links are up there. Okay. And then we're having an eBay auction at the end of the month.
Okay.
Everyone's come together and sending us all this wonderful stuff, from signed prints from the Randy Couture book, and all this great stuff. Okay. So we're going to put it all together and do an auction at the end of the month as well.
Okay. So the fundraiser today is for your nephew who has PKD. And can you tell me a little bit about what's going on today?
Today we're just running a fundraiser, like we said, for Danny. He's having a kidney transplant in January, and the way insurance and Medicaid and all that stuff works. My brother and his wife are going to have to pay out of pocket to cover his anti-rejection drugs and blood tests and stuff like that. So we're just trying to raise a little bit of money to help out, and try to, relieve a little bit of that burden for them. But the way the MMA community has come out and supported, my brother and my nephew is just amazing. We're expecting a great turnout today, and even before today, we just had so many donations and people offering to add things to the raffle and stuff like that to make even more money. So it's just been, I'm getting chills just thinking about the generosity.
Right?
Yeah, it's amazing.
So today at AMA, we're doing the fundraiser for little Danny. And so why did you want to be a part of it?
The Miller family, great guys. Been working with them for a couple of years now. Top-notch guys, just good family guys. Anything I could do for them, I would do in an instant.
This is your first time here at AMA?
First time here.
Okay.
I was supposed to come a bunch of times to train and didn't happen, but it's got me out here.
So yeah, do you know Dan? Do you know Jim?
I never met Dan, but I was at a signing in Virginia for Wounded Warriors, and I met Jim Miller there for the first time, and I was talking to him a little bit about his brother and what he went through, this and that, and he just gave me like the lowdown on it. I just felt so bad. My heart went out to him.
Not only am I the wrestling coach, but I'm the training partners of these guys. I'll train with them MMA. I do pretty much everything with them. Dan's, he's got a tough road. Most guys are obviously younger. Some guys are younger and don't have the family, and it's easier for them. And then Dan, on top of that, has the issues, and it's hard. It's hard. Sometimes he can't get in here because he has to do something with his family. So, and the fact that he's even competed over the last 2 years like he has is phenomenal. He's extremely talented, and hopefully in the future we'll see a lot more.
I have a 1.5-year-old daughter, so it's like I can kind of relate a little bit, and it's crazy to think that this guy was actually training and fighting top guys in the world, going through this type of personal issue. So, I'd do anything that could help. So I figured it'd come down.
Danny has PKD, which is polycystic kidney disease. He was born with it. Initially, when he was born, he did have some kidney function, but when he was about 8 weeks old, he became really sick and his kidneys shut down. So he's been on dialysis since he was about 4 months old. They do dialysis every night. Dan and Kristen have done an incredible job of managing, his condition. They learned not only how to, actually do the dialysis, but they learned the workings of managing it. They know when he has a little too much fluid on him, so they know what to do. They are so in tune with what's going on with him. I am amazed at how much they've learned and how well they've managed his condition. Fortunately, we are looking at transplant. End of January, it's scheduled, and that's really what we're looking for.
It's weird because you expect, okay, like the MMA community, they're great people and stuff like that, and you expect that you're going to have some generosity, but when it really starts to come in and you really start to see everybody from Dana White and Lorenzo Fertitta and UFC and just fans in general and other fighters, guys that Dan has fought, guys that I have fought, just coming out and supporting basically one of their own. It's just amazing.
Right. What do you think about that, the way people have been coming together to support you in this?
It's been overwhelming, really. I can't really words. There's nothing really to describe. There really isn't much. It's just my wife and I are overwhelmed with the support and just ecstatic, and I think it's really going to help Danny out. It just shows how what the MMA community can really do when they pull together.
It's an emotional thing.
Yeah. Are you're donating things?
Yeah, I'm giving my walkout shirt from UFC 139, my hat, my gloves, shorts. So I'm giving some stuff away, signing them. Just trying to attract more people to come here to donate.
And the underground. Now you saw that whole Chocolate Owl T-shirt thing? How amazing is that?
You can't describe the generosity that we've seen. There's just no way to repay all these people for their time and their effort and monetary donations.
Right.
We'll just continue to fight our asses off and hopefully put on good shows.
What was it like having two fighters? What is it like having two fighters?
Well, it's
fun.
people ask the biggest question you get is people will say, being a fighter, are they mean? Are they nasty?
You guys are wearing the same shorts.
All the time.
Do you really? Was it planned?
No, it's never planned. It's a little ESP thing we got going.
Really?
I had my red Venoms in, and I'm like, I'm just gonna switch to blue.
All the time.
And I don't know. It happens a lot. We used to wear the same shirt.
Seriously, what was it like growing up with each other? I know you had to ask that question a million times, but did you kick the crap out of each other?
It really never. No.
And there would be no kicking the crap out of each other when we were little, because he was always a lot bigger than
Yeah.
me. So it always would have been one-sided. So he spared me.
It's a profession. And people don't understand. A lot of people don't understand that because it's just like, well, it's a brutal profession. Yes. But if they train what they're doing, they know what they're doing. That helps. Because none of them ever got in trouble when they were, teenagers or anything. None of them were in fights or anything. They did a lot of rolling around when they were kids. So it was just a natural progression. They loved the competition. That's what got them into it. Right. Is they missed the competition. So that's how they got started in it.
Did you fight?
No. Not me. I wrestled a little bit in high school, but I didn't fight. They tell me I should have because they get their hard head from me. They get their tenacity from their mother. And their strength from their mother, but their hard head and their rock chins they get from me.
And for you, seeing them in the cage, what is it like for you?
I'm a
Is
nervous
it heart-wrenching?
wreck. I get really, really nervous, but it's also really exciting. There's nothing like the adrenaline rush that you get, when Jim or Dan, submit someone. It's amazing. It's like addictive.
Right.
But I am a nervous wreck. As time goes on, again, I don't think I get as nervous because I do put things into perspective. And, you know, if they lose, oh well, they'll get up and they'll, you know, go back to training. And, you know, so it's not such, I don't feel it's as big a deal as maybe a couple of years ago. You know.
If you look back in the past couple of years, do you have like good memories of fighting, or you just think of, do you have memories of, you know, your son? Can you separate the two?
Definitely. I remember all my fights, and they were all, I have fun in every fight, win or lose. And probably my, you know, the most fun I've had in any fight was the Bisping fight. And I just had fun. I don't know what it was. You know, punched my face in, but I had a lot of fun.
Right.
So, you know, again, it's, you know, when I go home, it's all about, you know, my kids. But, you know, I made a decision that, you know, this was my job, and, you know, it's just like anyone else's job. You know, I need to go work and make money to support my family. So what I needed to do, you know, I needed to work, work. So I came to practice and did the best I could on, you know, trying to put out the best effort I could.
And do you think that your situation with your son and not being able to train as much, you know, will attribute it to some of your losses?
I wouldn't say that. You know, I fought some extremely tough competition. The guys that I fought were, you know, some of the best in the world. And you know, I can't tell you whether if I had, you know, 100%, you never know if you're going to be 100%. So, I mean, if it didn't happen and, you know, I might have got hurt if I was training harder, I can't tell you how it would have ended up. You know, people go through stuff all the time. People fight with injuries, people fight with, you know, Chael fought with, you know, after the death of his father. There's just, stuff happens, life happens. You know, and I just try to...
Yeah, but not, the stuff that you're going through is pretty intense, and I think that you're handling it so amazing, and I think that so many people wouldn't handle it the way that you do. You're such a strong person. I just spoke to Chris Weidman. He said he would be in bed crying all day. Do you think that you would be able to go through the stress that Dan was going through and train, knowing like what you go through for training?
Nah, I bed all day crying.